Okay, good. Looks like it is starting.
You all rise. I'll call this common council meeting to order at the Warsaw Police Department Training Center. We will start with the invocation by Diane. Thanks, Diane.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here this evening to conduct the business of the city. We thank you for the good planning session that we had just prior to this. We thank you for the excitement and the vision that this council has for moving the city forward, and for the leadership that we have and all of the employees we have that help make that possible. So as we deliberate tonight and begin to take some steps to bring some things into reality, please be with us and help us make good decisions. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Thank you, Diane. Now the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. I saw Diane taking a look at that mic. Trust the mics. They are working very well, even though it's at a distance from you. If you are speaking softly, you can just lean a little bit and you can sort of tell, see how it's just, but it does pick up. David, you're doing okay hearing? It's just really nice. In fact, Brady was saying maybe as good or better than what we have at the council chambers. So if you're just sort of close, you'll be fine. So appreciate everybody's patience again with the change in venue, and then also me trying to run all the technology. With that all being said, the first item we have is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting.
I so move.
Jerry moving to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay. The ayes have it. And Lynn, I apologize for the record. All council members are present except for Jack Wilhite.
Got it.
There are no reports, or rather, before that, we do have recognition of visitors, and I'd like to welcome Max Mail, and also ask him to come to the front here. Max is currently serving on the Warsaw Plan Commission, and several weeks ago, the Plan Commission asked that you also serve on the Board of Zoning Appeals. I want to thank you for your service on the Plan Commission and your willingness to step forward here. To make it official, if you would take the oath of office by first raising your right hand and then repeating after me. I, Max Mail,
I, Max Mill,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Indiana,
of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and diligently
and diligently
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
as a member of
as a member of
the Board of Zoning Appeals
the Board of Zoning Appeals
for the City of Warsaw,
for the City of Warsaw,
according to law
according to law
and to the best of my ability.
and to the best of my ability.
Max, thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate your service to the community. Before I let you go, I do need to ask that you sign, I'll have you right here, go. You'd sign and put your name right here.
Thank you.
Tell me right here.
All right, thank you.
You can obviously stay or you can go. Thanks a lot, Max. Max, one of countless people, I think we have about just over 75 people, if I remember counting right a few years ago, be a dozen, just over a dozen boards and commissions, and it's just neat to see individuals like Max step forward and not only serve on one board, but now two. So thanks again.
Thank you all.
Now, reports oral written, there are none. I do want to thank everybody for your efforts the past couple hours with the strategic planning. Justin is still here, his department, his leadership today, and then obviously your input. Just to start, obviously a lot more to do, but I do want to thank all of you for your efforts. We will go to unfinished business. We have two items here, and they're both from the plan department. And Justin, if you want, why don't you grab the stand there? Sorry, I didn't move that. That's my fault.
No, it's fine.
Welcome to a change of venue right here. Here. You can be right there, and we'll be able to hear you if you stand right there. Good. I apologize for that. Okay, Justin, you have, first item here is an ordinance amendment, and I think I'm looking at 2026-0101. Justin?
Yeah, I appreciate it, and it somehow feels appropriate that today's Groundhog's Day, because you guys have seen this quite a few times. So, nothing new or earth-shattering here as far as what you've seen. We did add those amendments that you requested at the first hearing that you approved as regarding the ADA ticket fee that is now $125 for the first occurrence and $250 for the second. And we also changed that immobilization fee as requested to $150 and $300. So again, we're looking at how to manage parking in our downtown, listening to downtown business owners, and trying to address those concerns as far as consistency and enforcement, managing growth, and increasing that turnover that we want to see in downtown. So this is one piece of that puzzle that we've identified as a potential issue where we wanted to adjust the fees for the parking tickets, changing those violations from the initial $10 where we started to $25, and then going from there. So, any questions or comments?
I do appreciate the comments, the efforts at our last meeting on first read, some of the changes. It's been decades, and I do believe that this proposal is a good faith effort to get up to date with today, and then also encourage good behavior when it comes to following codes within the city limits of Warsaw. Any questions or?
Has anybody had any feedback on this ordinance? Has anyone heard from anybody?
I did get one call from a gentleman that works with Lakeland Art Association downtown. And they're one of the downtown brick and mortar building owners. He just had a couple questions about the ordinance in general. But he also, he was interested and really appreciated the efforts to have some of the parking spaces in the city lot dedicated for downtown shops. So that's one of the next things we're going to be looking at is how to permit those spaces. So I want downtown businesses to know that that's the next piece of this puzzle that we want to work on.
This is the second reading. It will require a motion and obviously a favorable vote. Are there any comments, questions? Entertain a motion.
I would move to approve ordinance 2026-01-01 on second reading.
So, motion to approve on second reading. Thanks, Cindy. Is there a second?
I second.
A second by Jerry. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. Next item, Justin?
And this is the other part of the downtown parking ordinance that relates to the actual implementation of our parking system, our new system that would eliminate the need for a lot of pencil and paper work and administrative work on the back end of issuing citations. It's a more modern system. It would also enable us to limit the space shuffling within the downtown parking zone. It references language where we've taken out the specific language that calls out the fees, and we've directed them back to our fee table. So everything stays consistent. There's not 3 or 4 different places in the city code to look for what the fee would be for specific violations. So again, you're all familiar with what's being proposed here, but yeah, if there's any specific questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
And that was discussed at our last meeting. The efforts here by Justin, countless other stakeholders, and now this council. How can we discourage space shuffling? How can we increase turnover of available spots for daily visitors? And then also, how can we create a more modern and adaptable approach to code enforcement? I truly believe, after countless months and a lot of work back to Justin, we've reached a proposal that will target those 3 areas. And like we were talking about in our work session, the change is really no change. No change from the 2 hours of free parking. It's what will life be like after that if someone decides not to follow that. And again, everything we're doing, back to those 3 points, we believe that this change is going to encourage people. In the reality downtown, it's going to look more like those 3 bullets. That's the goal. And as Justin has said, we will have a great opportunity as we get this probably started in the spring and go through a trial and then start to go into enforcement in the summer. And we'll be able to reevaluate it as we go, probably in the fall, next time this year. And do we like what we're seeing? What should we change? And back to a more modern system. The nice thing will be for our 2 code enforcement officers and really those involved in the enforcement business, it won't be pencil, notebook, and pen and paper. It'll be high tech. It will, I think, be better for everybody when you think about downtown and code enforcement. Any questions or comments for Justin?
Just to reiterate, I think it'd be helpful to just publicly, I can pull into a parking space downtown, and I can walk in and be a patron at a store for up to 2 hours, and I don't really have to do anything.
Exactly the way it is right now.
So in other words, the same as today.
Yes.
And there, once I need to realize I need to stay for an extra hour, that's when I need to prompt the stay, right, through the app.
Initiate a parking session.
Thank you, initiate a parking session, I gotta get the language
No,
right.
you're doing great.
Which is $3, and then $1 thereafter. Okay, and the penalty for not doing that would be a $25 parking fee, right? Okay.
Right.
So realistically, very little has changed, unless now you don't need to worry about running out of the store because you're overdue on your hair appointment or something.
Right.
You just pay the $3 and you move on with life, right? Okay, I thought that was important to make sure that, again, we were all on the same page there.
So if you initiate a parking session and you're in getting your hair done, and you're in more than 2 hours, does it just automatically, charge you that parking, the fee?
So if you have an active session, it can send you warnings. That's the benefit. If you initiate it right away, it can tell you, hey, your time's almost up, do you want to add another $1? So some people will find it more convenient to have the app where it can send you those prompts and say, just add another $1 and you can stay here for another Others might wanna text the number, there's a number where you can text, or there's gonna be a couple of kiosks where you can use change as well, so we try to accommodate
So if you
everybody.
miss that text, Justin, will it, and you have your credit card info, will it just tap your credit card for $1 or?
I think you have to confirm it, it's not gonna, I don't think it
Okay.
would automatically charge you, no.
The great thing about it though is back to what Josh had said. A, you can do nothing, it's status quo like it's always been. Or B, you can initiate a parking session and you can protect yourself. I can stay for a 3 or 4 hour appointment. I can stay for dinner, I can do those things. And I don't have to run out in the cold weather or during the snow or in a hot summer day and move my car to a new spot or a different zone. Now it'll be out of the zone. Right, because I initiated it, I can make that decision because it's communicating with me, just to make it friendlier for me. If I wanna go over the 2 hours. If not, going in for a cup of coffee, I don't have a problem with the hair appointment, but you get the idea of that kind of thing. It's just, we think it's gonna be advantageous for them.
And there'll be a learning curve.
Yes, there will be. But I think the learning curve, people will realize, boy, it's actually easier for me to park downtown. It's better, more consistent if I do initiate because I'm going to stay longer than 2 hours. Did I say that right? Okay. Any other questions or comments? You know, a lot of work, really appreciate everybody's efforts and just to get to this point.
Could you review again one more time about, I wanna go downtown and pick up a cup of coffee on my way to work, and then I decide I'm gonna meet people downtown for lunch. So I left the downtown, and then I come back again. How does it work for me?
So that's a great question, Diane. There are gonna be challenges with the system. As the ordinance is written, we want to really discourage somebody from moving space to space. Now, the challenge is how do you prevent people from doing that while allowing the behavior that we would want, somebody that's stopping in for a couple minutes and then heading out of downtown and then coming back. So we wanna work closely with code enforcement to help them identify people that are either space shuffling and penalize that, where we're not penalizing the people that are doing something that you described there with leaving the downtown for a few hours and then coming back. So that is one of the challenges with the way we have to implement this. As it's written, you get the 2 free hours downtown, and then after that, you would need to pay to park, but we wanna work with code enforcement to not penalize those people if at all possible.
The vendor indicated that you help me out here, the vendor indicated that they will have the ability, code enforcement, as they're going through and sweeping, if you don't start a session, to determine when and the area your car was first hit, like you went in the morning for the coffee. If it goes through and sweeps again and doesn't see you after 2 hours, or a second or third sweep, and then it picks you up again at 12:30 on another block because you're having lunch, that's where code enforcement is going to have to use their judgment on, is this a car shuffle from one spot to the next, and we're seeing it happening all the time, or is this, the car was here in the morning, and then another sweep later in the morning, and then we see it again on another spot. That would indicate to code enforcement that the car has left the zone, and now it can come back in for another session. Did I say that right? I mean, the code enforcement is gonna have to determine what's appropriate. Has it been somebody that's space shuffling or not? Is that okay?
Yeah.
What don't you like?
Well, as it's written, you get the 2 hours, but it is a challenge too, but I think we're able to use that discretion with the space shuffling as he described, so I think that's a good way to look at it. It's just a challenge because we do have it, the way we have to write it, to make it work, to prohibit the space shuffling, so. I just don't want to make it, I just don't want somebody to think that they can instantly come back and the clock resets if they've been tagged in the system. So that's something I want to make sure is clear. We have to write it a certain way to prohibit that space shuffling.
But if you come back on that second trip into town for lunch, you can start a session and be okay.
Yes.
I think it's my understanding.
And that's what I would want to encourage people to do. We want to be as friendly and fair, but I just want to encourage people, if you come back downtown, the safest thing is to start that session.
I've actually, we frustrated it a little bit because we wanted to hold on to that 2 hours and you don't have to do anything. But back to what Diane just said, the best thing would be for somebody to initiate a session. And that's just gonna help them, that's gonna help us with proper enforcement. But at the same time, trying to be firm but friendly, we really believe our code enforcement officers will be able to tell. Again, we've never done it, but the vendors are telling us that we can probably tell and work through those problems right to my office. If you go down to get coffee at 8 o'clock and then you're having lunch at 1 o'clock and you ended up getting tagged, I hope with the increased fine that this council, that you would call my office and say, wait a minute, Jeff, and you get the idea, and we can work through that. That's the great thing about this system too, is we have the final say on what should be done. So it isn't like we're giving up the power to enforce this system. This is something that elected officials, my office, my staff, will be able to, basically, proof will be in the pudding. We're gonna have to react to these unique circumstances. But remember, most people do not come down and park for more than 2 hours to begin with. Most people do follow the rules. We firmly believe they will after this is implemented. It'll just be those unique situations that we need to stay firm for the good of all the downtown merchants and people visiting, but also I think we can handle that friendly. The first complaint should come to me if we don't. It's my responsibility. Okay there, what I'm saying? Okay. Jerry?
What time does that actually start in the morning?
8 a.m.
8 a.m., 8
And then
o'clock,
what time does it stop in the evening?
5.
at 5,
Same as it does now.
Okay.
and no weekends, nothing on the weekend, just weekdays only.
So, Justin, when do you anticipate this taking effect?
It's
When
a
do you
great question,
anticipate-
Mike. We have some work to do still. So we have, if this is approved, then we have our signs, currently at the city, we'll get the installation of those started. And then we'll work with PD on how to roll out the, warning period. So they've got some technology to learn. They have all the units, we have the signs that we're gonna install. So it's just a matter of starting to set those up. So they've gotta call the 811 and locate everything and get the posts installed. Hopefully we can hang most of them where there's existing signs, but there'll be a few new signs to go up. But we'll work on getting those kiosks installed as well. So there's still some work to do, and we got a couple feet of snow on the ground, so that'll create some challenges as well. So I think Jeff mentioned earlier spring. I would be hesitant to be any more specific than that, but there will be a soft rollout period where we do want to educate, get people used to what the new rules are, and then issue citations as we get more comfortable with using the system.
That was my next question. What plans are in place to educate or inform people that this is coming, and how do I get the app,
And that will all be on the signage. So our consultant's done this in many cities around the state and nationally. So they're very familiar with how to roll out the process. Again, they told us the soft rollout was the best. So we'll try to communicate with media and outlets and just tell them, as things start to come online, what to expect at each step of the way. So, but again, this isn't our consultants. It's not their first time doing this, so we're really relying on their expertise and how to phase this in.
Phasing will be important, and, I look at the 3 bullets: discourage space shuffling, increase turnover, create more modern and adaptable approach to code enforcement. This is what everybody has wanted, and we firmly believe that this is, with your support, a step in the right direction. But back to our code enforcement guys, they are going from, again, pencil paper to basically a lightsaber when it comes to the equipment that they have. So we're gonna have to be patient with them, which we'd rather have. I think that at the end of the day, they're gonna be very thankful for what's in their possession to what? To serve, the people downtown. And make their experience even better. So that's the idea. Any other questions? Justin, you've done a great job. Any final comments? I know Scott, you worked on, all the language. Any comments from anybody?
I think Justin's done an amazing job.
And I'll make a motion, we pass ordinance number 2026-0102 on second and final reading.
Motion by Diane to pass this ordinance amendment on second reading. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second by Josh. Is there any further discussion? Any questions? Thanks again, Justin. All right, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it, 6-0. Thank you for that. New business, we have an elected salary ordinance amendment, 2026-0201. At this time, under advice from legal, the request is that this board table this item on new business. Is that okay with you, Scott?
Yes.
Say it that way?
I'll make a motion, we table ordinance 2026-0201.
Motion to table, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay. Okay, thank you for that. And any other matters that may come before the council? Any comments from the group?
I'd just like to remind everybody that our next meeting, if there's business, would be on Tuesday, February 17th. Monday's President's Day. So that's why the meeting is moved to Tuesday.
We have a redevelopment commission meeting at 4 PM on Tuesday the 17th. We have a park and recreation board meeting at 5:15, and then common council. And again, very, very good catch. Lynn, you've been doing a lot of that lately. With President's Day on Monday, where city offices will be closed and we won't have any meetings. Which is good. I do need to thank Brady from IT, the Warsaw Police Department. I need to thank Stacy Young from my office for opening up the training center for us to use, as well as all our other boards and commissions for this entire month. It's a pretty good setup considering, and a lot of work into to make it the way it is. So a lot of credit to a lot of people, starting with Brady from our IT department. Anything else from the board?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to adjourn. I'll give that to Jerry. And call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. All right, have a great evening. Thanks a lot, Justin.
Did you guys see?
It's probably not